First of all, I'm going to remove anything that I have on my lips with some micellar water. This is the main area I'll be working on, so I'm just going to mattify that with some powder. I use the Maybelline Matte Maker because, as it says in the name, it really mattifies your face. Make sure you put your hair back because you do not want to get liquid latex in your hair because that will be such a pain to get out. I'll leave a link to where I got my liquid latex from down below. They do sell it in places like Wilko as well though. All I'm going to do is literally layer this up. I use a disposable sponge because whatever sponge you use is going to get completely wrecked. So make sure you don't use something that you use all the time. And it is really strong, this stuff, so I wasn't expecting it to be strong at all. But it gets in your eyes so bad, so just be careful. And make sure you patch test before you use it because you can be allergic to it. All I'm going to do is build it up in really thin layers and put some tissue over the top, and then I'm just ripping it to kind of get the shape I want and add a bit more of a rustic feel to it, because I feel like the more messy and rustic this looks, the better it is. And then all I'm going to do is keep layering it, and then once I get about halfway through, all I do is blow dry it with a hairdryer. Like I said, when I get about halfway through the layers, I'm just going to dry it with a hairdryer. This takes quite a while to dry, so if you do it with a hairdryer, it makes it so much faster. When it dries, the liquid latex dries clear, and it also dries so it feels really hard. I feel like liquid latex is really good to use when you're trying to make it look like it's your own skin because it looks a lot more textured. And then all I'm going to keep doing is building it again, just till I kind of feel like I have enough for what I'm going to do. I feel like you do need quite a lot of this on, because when you put string through where the hole is, you need to kind of have a bit to work with. Once I've built that up into how I want it, I'm then going to take some cotton wool. I'm going to split the cotton wool pad in half and apply some of this. This makes it look like you've got the fibres from your skin on your face, and it also adds a bit more depth to it. I'm going to then apply liquid latex over the top of that as well. This is actually quite tricky to do, but I feel the best way to do it is with your fingers in the end, or just apply it with the sponge and then put your fingers over the top, because otherwise it doesn't smooth down enough so that you can actually dry it and cut it. And then, like I said, I'm just going to dry that all down again. This needs to make sure now that it's going to be really dry and no wet parts whatsoever, because then I'm going to cut it. Make sure you're really careful at this part, because obviously you're cutting into your lip as such. So all I'm going to do is cut between my lips so it makes a hole, so it looks like it's the new skin between your lips. To be honest, this probably would have been a lot easier to do if you have like little nail scissors or anything. But I actually don't have any of them, so I just use normal kitchen scissors. But they are a lot harder to do it with because they're blunter and they're also bigger to get into it. So just be really careful. I'm going to cut this a bit further than where my lips would be as well. And then I'm going to stretch this so my lips are kind of in the middle of it and they're a lot more prominent.
I control you, just as in a game. But don't try to fight me back. You can't break me.
Then I'm going to take the foundation that I was using on my face. There should actually be a tutorial for this going up next week. This wasn't the foundation that I was using, but I kind of use this because I know that I can rely on it. I'm just going to apply this over the top of where the liquid latex is, and this makes it look so much more like skin. And also when you go to apply the bruise and the red over the top, if you miss a part it won't matter as much because there's a foundation there so it looks like skin. Then taking a black liquid liner. To be honest, you could use anything for this. You could use face paint if you have it. You could even use a liquid lipstick. But all I'm going to do is apply this on the inside of where I've just cut, and this adds it look. This makes it look like it's got a lot more dimension, a lot more definition, and makes it look like it goes so much deeper into your skin. I'm not going to apply this all the way around, just on the edges so it looks like it goes in deep. Then I'm going to take a red liquid lipstick and I'm just going to put this all on my actual lips and blend the two together. This makes it look more like it's red, sour and raw, and I'll leave all the products I use down below. Next I'm going to take a purple and red eyeshadow. This can be from any palette. Mine was from a Makeup Revolution palette. It was actually from last year's Halloween collection, so if I find it I'll link it down below. All I'm going to start doing with this is going over where I applied the foundation to create a bruised effect. First of all, I started off with a purple and then started adding the red as I went along. If you have paint or any gel line or anything like that of the same shade, it would probably work better and be quicker to do. But I only had eyeshadow when I was doing this, so I just applied the shadow. It still works exactly the same, it just takes a little bit longer. And I also applied a bit of that red liquid lipstick that I used on my lips earlier around the cut because it adds a bit more dimension. The more shades of the colour that you have, then it just adds more dimension and depth to the look.
I'm here.
Then I took some string to sew the mouth together. Now this is really tricky to do because the string that I chose was quite rusticy, so when you put it through it kind of only bring half the string through, so it did take me quite a long time and I did have to stop filming halfway so that I could do it off camera. But to pierce the hole through the liquid latex I just used tweezers, and like I said before, you need to be really careful with this because you are working near your lips and you don't want to cut your lip because that would really hurt. Once the string is applied, it will then look somewhat like this. As you can see, I had two sides and the string was really long, so all I did was just chop the two sides off to make it look a bit shorter, and one of the longer sides, all I did was stick it down with eyelash glue. All I then do is tie the end of the other one so it looks like that's the end of where the knot is. Then taking fake blood, I'm pretty sure this is just like the pound tube ones you can get from Wilko or Tesco. I wanted to make this so it's a lot easier to recreate. And all I do is just apply this over the string because obviously if it's been through your lips, it's going to be covered in blood. So I literally just apply this to the string and then apply it all around the mouth because there's no way if you had your mouth sewed together that there wouldn't be blood everywhere.
I control you, just as in a game. But don't try to fight me back. You can't break me. Try it, and you shall
Then after literally covering blood everywhere, I'm going to take the purple and red eyeshadows again that I used before and put these all down my neck. This just makes the neck look bruised. And that is literally how you do the look. The tip to this is literally just cover it in blood, take your time doing it with the latex because that's kind of what builds the shape of it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing Halloween. Don't forget to give a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. Bye!